Human slaves, come with us and you will see this our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween.
Hey guys, Underground Geek here. So I want to talk about this latest comic that I read. Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, number 8. I kind of let this one slide on the back burner for a little while, so I'm picking it back up. I think I read the first 3 or 4 issues and then just kind of let it fall to the wayside. But I'm trying to find good comics. You know what I mean? I don't want to just go down and say, well, Marvel sucks in general, because there are good people at Marvel. It's just that the majority of them suck. So there are those gems, you know, those diamonds in the rough. Now this might not necessarily be a diamond, but I think you may be surprised. First we want to check out this cover here. It says, the Scarlet Spider feels the sting of the Hornet. And just check out that cover there. Look it over a little bit. It's very classic Spider-Man, I feel like. You clearly see the hero and villain fighting. So let's go to the title page here. Ben Reilly has been lying low in Las Vegas. Fortunately, he has found an unlikely ally in Cassandra Mercury, owner of the Mercury Rising Casino, as he searches for a cure for Cassandra's daughter's rare medical condition. Ben has struggled to find a balance between power and responsibility, and his behavior has grown increasingly erratic and aggressive. Recently, he was approached by Death herself, who revealed that this struggle comes from within Ben's very soul, which has been damaged as a result of Ben's multiple resurrections. Pretty cool. So the writer is Peter David, the artist is Will Sliney, the cover artists are Jason Keith and Andrew Crossley, and the letterer is Twitter's own Joe Caramagna, however you say that. And there's multiple cover artists, but I think the one that I'm looking at is Scott Hanna. He did that one because I think I see his name on the cover. So anyway, this comic really surprised me. It seems to have a lot of potential, and by potential I mean it doesn't entirely suck. Okay, so as we flip through here, we flip to the next page. We see Ben and Kane sitting there on the rooftops. Now, if you don't know Kane, he is another clone of Peter Parker, and he is another Scarlet Spider. You know, as if we didn't have too many already. And he says, "So Death, yeah, Death came to you, yeah, that's right, and killed me, stone dead. Well, you were kind of being obnoxious. How was that? Oh, well, it wasn't. I can certainly relate to that." And so Kane is upset because he's tried really hard to be Spider-Man, and Death actually fixed Ben Reilly's face, which was really messed up, and brought Kane back to life and pretty much just set up Ben Reilly to be awesome. Now, if you don't remember Ben Reilly, he was the Jackal, and he was trying to pretty much just like end Peter Parker's world and bring back clones, and was a murderer and everything else. So it's kind of hard to see how Death would just give him a freebie. So they get into an argument, they get in a fight, and he says, "You are a villain. I came here to kill you for the crimes you committed as a Jackal, for the lives you ruined, and a cosmic entity shows up and rewards you." He says, "Well, maybe you weren't good enough. Ever think of that?" And I was like, wow, that's really rough. And the next scene threw me off because for a second it looked like Ben Reilly and Kane was holding hands because of the way they drew it. And I was like, they started fighting and now they're holding hands. What's happening here? But Kane flies off, or swings off. And then we cut to the next scene here, and this is after Secret Empire. So that was in the past, and now this is after Secret Empire. And if you remember, Hydra Cap nuked Las Vegas, so it's like nothing. So Kane's standing there, and the first thing I noticed about this picture was the awkwardness of the Casino Manhattan sign directly beneath his crotch. Why did they do that? It's like they want us to look at his crotch. I don't understand. They're like, gotcha. So he's talking about, what happened. He's upset. And basically, what has happened is, everything's gone. Everything's destroyed. So he has nowhere to go. And so he's sitting there contemplating his thoughts. Well, the next page we see some veterans that have been hanging out in a little, I guess it's one of those VA places, and basically they've been hunkered down. And these thugs show up and start trying to steal everybody's food. Well, Kane shows up and starts taking them to town. It doesn't take much to kick them out. What I didn't like about this is when I saw Kane, the way he's dressed and the artist style, it reminded me of Spider-Man 2099. And that was the only thing I didn't like about the 2099 recent run, was the way they drew certain people at certain angles. It just, I don't know, it looked really fake to me. Almost like a 3D printer, or 3D graphics. And I just don't like that kind of stuff. So anyway, then we get the next scene where our villain is trying to convince someone to complete a mission for him. He's basically saying that Cassandra is the bad one and he's not the bad one. Cassandra is holding out all the food, and the poor people of the city can't get it, which is a complete opposite. So he says, a very evil woman named Cassandra Mercury is pretending to help people out, but it's all a ruse, a deception. I have heard from a reliable source that she's hoarding the food and has 2 superhumans on her payroll. She is expecting a shipment, a massive one, enough to help feed the residents of our city. I need you to get it. Can you do that? And then we cut to the next scene, and it's Hornet. And he says, absolutely, boss. Just point me in the right direction, and the Hornet will take care of the rest. Thank you, Hornet. No problem at all. And so that threw me off because I thought Hornet was always a bad guy. So something's different about this Hornet right off the bat. So then we cut to the next scene where Ben Reilly's talking to Cassandra's daughter, trying to console her, trying to find out from the doctor what's going on. And the doctor's trying to, this is the thing that kind of threw me off. The doctor's like, when are you going to heal this girl? When are you going to heal her? And I'm like, you're the doctor. I know that Ben, was put in charge to find a cure, but you're the doctor. You do something. I mean, he's a genius and everything, but come on. So Ben's frustrated, punches the wall. Then he goes on the hunt. He's searching online, trying to find something, anything, and he thinks he finds the lead. So then he tells Cassandra about it. She gives him a little kiss, which means that something's probably going to go down later. But, how that always works out. But then they find out the shipment is indeed under attack. It's the Hornet. He's actually pretending to be a superhero. I think he honestly thinks he's a superhero because he doesn't take the cops out that are attacking. He just, or the security guards out or whatever they are. He just disables them and then calls the station and tells them to come get them and help them out. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's weird. So then he gets the shipment, but then Ben Reilly shows up, takes it from him, and instantly we get a cool splash page there. And he says, oh, fine, here you go. Throws it back at him. He says, now then, one chance to surrender, and here's a secret. I'm kind of hoping you don't. So they start fighting. Pretty cool fight scenes here. He's dodging the darts. He's flying through the air. Scarlet Spider catches his foot with a web. And then this next scene was really cool because he catches his foot with a web, ties it to a truck, and then he's actually running up the spider web, which would be really cool in a movie if Spider-Man ever did that, and then jumps out of the way at the last second. He jumps on the Hornet, but Hornet actually has a defense device on the suit that shocks anybody that comes near him, and paralyzes Ben Reilly. He thinks he's going to fall down to his death because you can't move. But then he's caught at the last second by Ricochet, which comes out of nowhere. And so basically he says, well, I just saved your life, Scarlet. Do you have any idea how my friend Eddie just came back from the dead? Because that doesn't generally happen. And so he says, can I just lay here because I'm about to pass out? And he says, well, suit yourself. I'll wait. I thought that was pretty funny. And then it says to be continued. So then we see the next issue, the cover of it looks pretty cool because Ben Reilly's like laying on the ground trying to get away from the Hornet, and the Hornet's fixing to blast him. So, classic superhero stuff. That's what we want. Classic superhero stuff. A beginning, middle, and end. Good guy looks awesome. Is attacking, fighting. you know. And then if he's not completely awesome, then we need somebody to show up to help him out. You know what I mean? So I definitely would recommend this comic. I've read a couple of the issues to begin with. It was pretty cool, and at this point we're on issue 8, and it's still pretty cool. So needless to say, we might end up getting 12 issues out of this if they can hold their cards right, you know, or even more. But I have a feeling they're probably going to go 12 and 13 and wrap it up. I don't think the sales are doing too good, but it's a decent story. It's because you don't get any promotion. Look at the artwork. The artwork's good. Sometimes it kind of dips down to 3D art, and I don't really like that. But for the most part, it looks pretty cool. But check it out, especially if you were fond of Spider-Man 2099 and then they killed it, and then you definitely need to check this out because this is the closest thing we got to Spider-Man right now. So guys, check this out. It's Scarlet Spider number 8, Ben Reilly fighting the Wasp, and Ricochet shows up. How about that? That's somebody we hadn't seen in a while. But all right, guys, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the button for notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And tell me what you think about the upcoming horror month that I'm going to be doing tonight. Tonight is the first video for my horror-themed month of comic books, so get ready for that. All right, guys, have a great day. Underground Geek out.